Alright, so I was just going to do a little build update here. I went and installed this knockoff twin ARB compressor. I mean, overall, I have about a little under $400 into this whole entire thing. The actual twin ARB compressor, I don't know, it's around double that just for the compressor itself from what I understand. So I found this one. I forget the part number. I'll try to find that, but I had done some research and there was a lot of people that had some great luck with it. So I copied the Dirt Church kit and just made my own stuff. This is all your factory recovery stuff. So you have like your tire iron and your rod to get the spare tire off. And then originally this comes with a scissor jack and it wouldn't fit with this compressor here, so I went and got this bottle jack from Harbor Freight and I just used a little buckle here. So this is all rubber mounted. I have my stock what are these called? Anyway, funnel. But I put one of these little brackets here, and this is actually made of a street sign. So we had one of these street signs laying around and I just put it on the vise. I bent it and I lined it up with this hole and the two holes, which I'll show in a sec, underneath that held the jack in place. And then I had gotten this stainless braided line here, and I thought that this might dissipate the heat before it goes and cuts off into these plastic air hoses. So I know that these things throw off quite a bit of heat, so I figured that would help. I have two air chucks and they're just run here. I made a little bracket that ties into the seatbelt bolt, just like the Dirt Church kit. The Dirt Church kit is $600. It includes the brackets and all this stuff, including the wiring. It's a really nice kit, that's why I copied it, but I saved a ton of money just doing all this myself. So I have another one on the other side here, same spot for the chuck. And the way that I wired it is here. This plug, actually, I took everything off except for the purple wire. The purple wire is your signal wire, and that just runs straight to your upfitter switch. I ran that down here, through this B pillar, and then up front to the pass-through wire, which I've shown the pass-through wire in the passenger side kick panel in one of my other videos. And then that's set up to switch number 6 because that's a 5 amp switch, and they say that this only calls for 3 amps to switch on. And then the power wire I ran from this here over underneath the carpet, just a little bit until I got to this pillar. This pillar I removed. You just pull this off and then you pull this out, and then up top here by where the seatbelt comes in, there's just this one little push pin, and when you pull that out it has a little rubber string, I suppose, and you just have to twist it 2 times to get it out, and then you can pull this whole thing out. There's a rubber grommet down here that goes right through the floor, and so I just poked a hole through that. I ran all my wires, so that comes out. Took me a sec to figure it out, but it comes out of this body mount. So this is the supplied wiring from the kit. And then there's your two 40 or 50 amp fuses, and right after that there's the factory wiring stops. So I grabbed 2 wires, one positive, one negative, that were 6 amp, and I went and soldered a connection together And then those run along the frame. Along the frame, so up top there, I have some wire loom. It just runs all the way across. You can see it zip tied some of the stuff there, and then runs up into your inner fender well. And so then from there, I ran the wire to this 80 amp circuit breaker. This is just in case, you know, any wires get frayed or something along the frame. I can not have to worry because this will trip. I can go find my issue and then reset it. So that wire connects there. My negative, I just ran to here. This is just an existing negative to the body. And then the positive from the breaker just uses a little jump wire. I drilled a hole here so I can zip tie it. And then to the positive to the battery. And then number 6 for me was this yellow purple that I connected here to the switch and then to the pass-through wire. So like I said, this was all just a dirt church setup that I copied. So shout out to them. They have a cool kit. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So I am now able to air up and down when I'm out doing like mountain passes and stuff. And I'm pretty excited to use it. I haven't tried it out yet. I just turned it on and fixed all the air leaks and stuff. So now it doesn't leak at all. I just have this extra serpentine belt that I keep here just in case. And then the other side, I can just go and show, but it's the same type of setup. And I ran it behind the Sony factory subwoofer. So the air line runs back there to here, down here, and then to a couple brackets that I made out of aluminum. This is all 1/4 inch MPT. So if you wanted to go and sort of do the same thing, that's all I did. Coming right out of the compressor, this is a 1/4 inch MPT, male to female. And that goes right into the compressor, comes out into the steel braided line that uses a 1/4 inch MPT as well, to that fitting, which is a 2 female 1/4 inch MPT, and then to the push to connect T 1/4 inch MPT. So yeah, it works out pretty well. I'll have to do a little update when I have everything in here. But I had relocated this switch panel. Top one runs my fridge, and then the one down, I have these plugs. So I can switch this plug from here to there, and I can use my Bluetti to run these backlights, but I can also use the Bluetti, or my upfitter switches to run that as well. I went and relocated it, so here's a vent that I use to cover my old hole for the switch panel. When my Bluetti's here, I can access the switch panel, so I just moved it over. This is the integral pack out mount, so I can stack these two pack outs on top of each other perfectly. And then you can lock it, which is kind of nice. So I also got this vacuum, which is kind of funny. And I got this kit online that also makes it pack out compatible. So I can slide that on top of this. And I might get one more thing on the side here. I haven't decided yet what it would be. Maybe it's a toolbox if I can fit it. So I can just add a couple more things into this to just stay organized. Can't remember if I'm forgetting anything on that, but I'll try to update if I did, or let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks.